This video is sponsored by Squarespace. A few years ago, I was talking to someone about my YouTube channel and wanting to be successful. And at this point in time, I was working at a full-time job. I was working on weekends. I was canceling plans to make time for scripting and filming. And it had been that way for a few years. And I remember saying, I really want to be successful, but like, wow, I would love to be able to just go to the beach on the weekends and not have to think about getting things done. And the response that I got was along the lines of, well, it sounds like you just don't want it enough. This was meant in like a motivating way, but to me, I was just like, oh, okay, so this is life forever if I want success. I value productivity as much as the next Enneagram 3, but I've realized over the years that while I do want to be successful, I don't want to measure my worth by my output and how many to-dos I'm able to tick off, measure my success by how many weekends that I work, or create a life filled with unhealthy productivity habits that are bad for my mental health. We're putting the idea in the trash that you can't value connection and spend time with people that you love and rest while also being successful and moving towards a healthier version of productivity. You tend to dwell on your failures, on the things that you didn't get done, on the to-dos that you left unticked in your day a whole lot more than you focus on the stuff that you did get done, the things that you are doing right. And that's how your brain is wired. You have a negativity bias that says, pay all of the attention to the negative thoughts, feelings, interactions, and events, and disregard the good stuff that happens to you. To counteract your bias, start spending 5 minutes in the day intentionally focusing on your wins. And when I say wins, I'm not talking about these kind of wins. Win 1, got report done. Win 2, finish the meeting minutes, same day. When I say wins, it's easy to jump to all of the things that you managed to tick off your to-do list. To embrace healthy productivity, you need to count things outside of what you output in your day as wins. On your wins list include things like, win number 1, I was really kind to myself after I said that dumb thing in that meeting. Win number 2, I was PMSing and I took it easy on myself. You can do this in a journal at the end of the week or at the end of the day. Rest has had a complete rebrand in the past few years. Books like Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker have started to move people away from the sleep is for the weak mentality towards sleep is essential and everyone should be sleeping mentality, which is wonderful. More people than ever are talking about the importance of rest, particularly sleep.
Chronic sleep loss can lead to a number of health problems.
How important sleep is.
Routinely sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours a night demolishes your immune system.
When we go to sleep, our internal body temperature naturally drops.
But rest needs to be rebranded beyond just people acknowledging that we all need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It needs to be rebranded to acknowledge that periods of doing nothing is healthy. It needs to be rebranded to acknowledge that you should be taking time off and using up your vacation days. That turning off your emails on a weekend is important and necessary for your mental health, and doing work within your working hours is how work should be done. Create rest rules for yourself and then get into the habit of enforcing them. The world today kind of measures you based on your output, how many things you got done, what you launched, what you started, what you've achieved. So when you have an off day and you don't get as many things done, it can be easy to fall into a pattern of just feeling bad about yourself. You start to kind of get angry and frustrated with yourself for not getting anything done, and then because you're feeling riled up about that, you still don't get anything done because you're filled with all these negative emotions and so on and so forth. Get into the habit of whenever you start to beat yourself up for not getting things done, practicing self-compassion. And you can do this in the form of a journaling exercise or a meditation. Self-compassion is not pity. It is not self-indulgence. It's moving from a place of this, I'm a literal piece of dirt, to this, I'm struggling to stay focused today. This, I'm gonna be 90 years old and I won't have achieved any of my goals, to this, everyone has setbacks and they have bad days. This, your state is different every day. Some days, going on a walk, getting all of your reports done, getting a workout in feels like a wonderful idea, and some days, making your bed feels difficult. Treat yourself with self-compassion and self-kindness. One must be of one's own time. A while ago, I was a finalist for Young Queenslander of the Year in the online category. I went to this really fancy event where they announced the winners. I sat at a table filled with amazing, beautiful people. One of them was a subscriber. I appreciate you for being so kind. And everyone at my table was raising some serious funding for endometriosis, which is a really important cause, as well as raising awareness. There were people at that event winning awards for saving people's lives, saving animals' lives, and making a huge impact on society in general. When I tell you that I felt like an underachieving fraud, I'm not exaggerating. But comparing your output to the output of others is one of the most unhelpful, unhealthy productivity habits that you can get into. In that situation, I wasn't genuinely down on myself. Please don't be concerned. If anything, it was more like I was laughing at the fact that I was in this room with all these people. I recognize that what I do is on a very different scale, but it does still have value, just in a very different arena. But falling into comparison traps with people is a really easy thing to do. It's like that quote on Instagram says, I have the same number of hours in a day as Beyonce. Beyonce would have meal prepped, Beyonce would have cleaned, Beyonce would have posted more than once on Instagram this month, and she'd have time with her friends, family, her goals, be killing it in her career. Babe, I think Beyonce has like a housekeeper, like 2 housekeepers. I don't think she's doing her own cleaning or cooking. I think she has assistants doing her gross stuff that she doesn't have to do. She's just doing the creative good stuff. She has a lot of money, wealth, status. It's very different. It's not really a valid comparison to make. I don't know. Other people might have more help than you. They might have more support than you. They might have better health than you. They might have more energy. They might have more privilege. They might have more money. When you find yourself comparing, there are 3 habits that you can practice. Firstly, admit that you are comparing, that you are jealous, that this person might have a life or some type of aspect of their life that makes you feel inadequate. That's okay, that's normal. We all get jealous from time to time. I think acknowledging that feeling is very important. Reflect on the comparison. This is where you might want to get out your journal, start writing about why you're comparing yourself to this person. Have you taken into account the help that this person might be getting or the privileges that this person might have? And are you going to use this jealousy as a motivator, or will you use it as a way to shrink yourself down? And if it was something that you saw online, mute. We never used to get frequent updates on all of the people around us, maybe in the same field as us, and what they were doing, what their successes were. So don't feel any shame in muting people. I know that a lot of you are the kind of people that like getting things done. You have side projects, and if you have a side project that requires a website, build it with Squarespace. The biggest appeal to me when it comes to Squarespace is that there are no patches, there's no updates, there are no plugins. If you've had experience with building websites in the past, that's such a dream statement to hear. Personally, I love stuff that is low maintenance. I don't want to be putting in a lot of effort just to update things and update my patches and plugins. I like that it's super easy to change the look and feel of your website. Everything is drag and drop and just so simple and easy. So if you do have a new side project, a blog, a business that you are starting, use Squarespace. You can use my link in the description down below to start your free trial at squarespace.com/MUCHELLEB and use the code MUCHELLEB to get 10% off of your first purchase. I actually recently redesigned my website using Squarespace. It was really easy. I added an about page, got a little books page in there, as well as my favorite apps if you want to check that out. It was a super quick setup process. I just chose the template that I wanted and then I messed around with things from there until I liked the way that everything looked. Some of the biggest companies, brands, influencers use Squarespace websites. If you want to sign up to Squarespace and get 10% off of your first purchase, you can sign up using the link in the description below, squarespace.com/MUCHELLEB. I appreciate you so very much and I will see you soon.